Olivia is awake at 4 a.m. already. She starts making breakfast and preparing herself and going to work. This is exactly her 10th month being a waitress in Melinda's restaurant. She is thankful every day to have this kind of job. At least it helps her and her family. Olivia was being raised by her father as an honest person and helpful to those in need. Every week, she gives some food to homeless people that often stay on the sidewalk who sell candies and snack foods. She doesn't have much, but she makes sure to give even just a bread to those homeless, especially children. Olivia is always happy while going to work every day. Until one day, she walks fast while picking something on her bag, and then she happens to bump into a girl. She says sorry without immediately looking at the girl in front of her. She started picking up her things that fell to the ground. Those were scattered and takes a minute to pick all of them. Olivia felt something unusual. The girl in front of her did not leave. Olivia slowly recognizes the girl and she then remembers it was Stacy, her old acquaintance. They talk for a while, but Stacy seems annoyed that she saw Olivia, and Olivia can feel that. They both remembered what happened in the past. They became friends and works at the same store before. At that time, Stacy started to be jealous. She noticed the store owner likes Olivia more than her, and favors Olivia a lot. Stacy doesn't like it, she's afraid that Olivia could get a promotion instead of her. So Stacy ruins every work of Olivia and blames her for stealing something in that grocery store. The owner did not believe it. Then one day, Stacy asks for a help from one of her friends, to disguised as a customer. That friend of hers become a witness and blamed Olivia for stealing something. And with a witness, the store owner ended up believing Stacy. He thought Olivia was a good employee, but it turns out it's not. The store owner doesn't want to make this problem big, so he only fires Olivia on that day. Stacy on the other side is happy about what happens. Back to the present. Olivia just forgot what happened in the past. They both parted ways and continue walking. Olivia is now at the restaurant. She works as a waitress for Melinda's restaurant. The weather is good. The customers started ordering food. Later on that day, Stacy walks inside the restaurant. Melinda was there and talks to Stacy. She then introduces Stacy to all employees. She also announced Stacy will now be the restaurant manager. Because of what Melinda said, Olivia was surprised by that, remembering Stacy's bad attitude. She knows Stacy likes to look down other employees, which happens before. She takes a deep breath and just continue on working. She avoided Stacy as much as she can, but it was impossible. Stacy is now the restaurant manager, and she needs to follow what Stacy tells her, no matter what. Stacy started talking to Olivia, and as usual, she is the same as before. She likes to give orders to any employees that are even not part of their work. Whenever Melinda was not in the restaurant, she likes to scold other employees for being clumsy, plus she always blames other people without listening to any of their explanations. Because of that, most of the employees don't like her attitude. They feel that Stacy is so mean and such a toxic manager. After a few months, Olivia continuously receives many compliments from customers, not just about the food but on how she treated them well, and always makes them feel welcome. Olivia is so happy to always hear this kind of compliment. Her coworkers tease her about how good she is at handling customers. She's optimistic that one day she would be promoted to a higher position. It was her dream. But on the other side, Stacy did not feel good about what she heard. She thinks what the customers said would only outshine her as a manager. She starts thinking of something evil to do. And actually, attempted to ruin the food that Olivia served to several customers, but it seems not easy to do, and could also harm her job position and the restaurant. She is so jealous of Olivia. She wishes they didn't happen to be at the same working place again. She has to get rid of her. She is the manager and she will do whatever she wants. Stacy can't think of plans that could work to make Olivia fired from her job, but meanwhile, she let everything run smoothly. This time, she saw one of her friends eating inside the restaurant. Stacy wears a big smile and slowly approaches her friend. They talk for a while asking how's the food. Their conversation went well, but not until her friend asked something about the waitress, Olivia. Stacy's friend told her that Olivia was passionate about doing her work and how Olivia could potentially be a good manager. Stacy was upset for a while and her friend starts noticing it. Her friend immediately says something good about her, being the current manager, but she is still mad at what her friend said. The whole day, she can't stop thinking how jealous she is of Olivia. It annoys her that Olivia seems better than her and could soon take her position. She won't let this happen. Stacy started being friendly to any employees at the restaurant. She treats them better than before, but some of them thought she was just pretending and it's all fake. She hates employees who won't side with or supports her. It takes her a week to plan on how to ruin Olivia's reputation and make Olivia hated by all customers. She then asks for help from one of her friends. Then one day, Stacy went to the restaurant early and looked for other employees. She saw the cashier, Emily, who was eating breakfast inside. Stacy starts her plan. She went towards Emily and told her to buy something. Emily was hesitant at first because she is in the middle of having her breakfast, but she's afraid to disobey the manager and doesn't want to be fired from her job. So she left for a while to buy those things Stacy said. Stacy looked around and observed if anyone was watching her. Then she immediately put something on Emily's food. After a few minutes, Emily returns to the restaurant and gives the things she bought for Stacy. Stacy thanked her and let her continue having breakfast. Everything went fine according to Stacy's plan. She seemed happy and excited. Not so long, many customers went inside the restaurant and starts ordering food. Olivia does her work and starts serving the customers food. A few minutes later, Emily felt something is wrong with her stomach. She approached Olivia and said her stomach hurt from what she ate earlier. She leaves immediately. There's no one left at the counter and many customers are coming in. Olivia tried to find someone that can temporarily work at the cashier area, but almost all workers are now busy. Stacy approached her and asked what happened. Olivia told Stacy that Emily is not feeling well. Stacy pretended to look around, finding someone who is not busy at that moment, but it seems Olivia is the one who could do other jobs. So Stacy instructs her to be a cashier, other than being a waitress just on this day. She immediately agreed and resumed working. Stacy is happy that her plans are working. After an hour, her friend, Steve, came accordingly to their plan. Steve and Stacy pretend they didn't know each other. He came only by himself and starts ordering food and drinks. He seemed to enjoy his food, but lately, Stacy talked to him as if asking how's the food. They still pretended, and in the middle of their conversation, Stacy handed secretly a fake $100. They look around, ensuring no one saw the money, and he continued eating. There are lots of customers that still coming in. Stacy and Steve wait for a while to ensure that many customers can see and to embarrass Olivia. They are short in staff, and Olivia also starts serving food to other customers. Steve then put the money on the table and called Olivia to get it. He starts leaving the restaurant. Olivia takes the payment from the table. While getting it, she noticed that there was extra money, about $100 besides the plate. She thinks that it's not a tip, and the customer mistakenly placed that. She looks around and finds that customer. She also asks her coworkers if they see that customer, but it seems he already left. Her coworkers just promised to tell her if they see that guy. After a few minutes, Olivia is hoping that the customer would come back to find that money. On the other side, Stacy was just observing what will happen next. Her friend, Steve, came back to the restaurant. He asked the waiter about the money left at the table. Stacy immediately talks to him. She asks if there's something wrong, and Steve said that he mistakenly left his money on the table. Stacy asks all the employees if they recognized who is the waitress that takes the money from the table. One waitress said that Olivia was looking for him. Olivia immediately recognizes the customer and she returns the money. Steve thanked her for returning the money and tell how he felt relieved the money was returned to him. Steve praised how honest Olivia is. But meanwhile, the manager, Stacy, cuts the conversation, and since the money was returned, they all have to proceed with their work. After a few seconds, Steve starts noticing something. The money returned to him was fake. Steve complains and shouts in frustration to Olivia that the money she gave was fake. Olivia immediately faces Steve to solve this issue. He threw the money at Olivia and got angry. He scolded Olivia and said he thought this waitress was honest, but it turns out she gave him fake money. Stacy pretends to calm Steve and talk to Olivia. She got angry and demanded Olivia to return real money. Olivia can't believe what happens. She explains to Stacy that she only returned the money that was from the table, and she doesn't even know that it was fake or not. Stacy accused her of changing the money and gave the fake one to Steve. Stacy was furious to know that Olivia wouldn't admit those things. She even said to Olivia that an employee like her should be fired immediately. Olivia was embarrassed because many customers were watching them inside the restaurant, and she has been accused of something she didn't do. What's worst is everything seems her fault. She still insists the fake money was not from her. Her coworkers told Stacy and the customer, Steve, that they believe Olivia because they know she is an honest person ever since she started working in the restaurant. They also told Stacy that maybe they could check CCTV cameras to know what really happened. Stacy agreed with it, but unfortunately for Olivia and her coworkers, those cameras were not working at that moment. They couldn't find any evidence to prove that Olivia is telling the truth. Stacy told Olivia that she was fired. The employees and especially Olivia are shocked. She is begging Stacy not to fire her. She needed this job so much to help her pay her bills. But Stacy won't skip this chance to fire her. Olivia gave up and starts packing her things to leave soon. One employee contacted Melinda and she goes to the restaurant immediately. She asks Stacy what happened. They tell her everything and Melinda tries to settle this issue with the customer. She offered the customer with money and apologized for it. Olivia said to Melinda that the money from the customer's table is what she gave. Melinda couldn't find any evidence and the issue take too long to settle. Stacy on the other side asks Melinda to fire Olivia to avoid this kind of situation in the future. Although Melinda wants to give Olivia a chance, Melinda decided to ask her to resign from her job because of what happens now. Olivia is so sad and was embarrassed, while Stacy was happy. Stacy's plan seems to work. But after a few minutes, there was a guy who came inside the restaurant and approached them. Melinda asked how she could help him. The guy is looking for his phone, and it was beside the table of Steve. The guy said he forgot to take his phone while recording their conversation with his friend. They tried to ask him if his phone was still recording after he left. He said yes and offered to show some of his recordings. Olivia and her coworkers started to watch those videos, which could help them find out what really happened, and if is it true that Olivia owns that fake money. Olivia felt relieved that she had a chance to prove herself as innocent. Everything is not going on Stacy's plan now. She seems irritated and uncomfortable. Stacy and Steve look at each other and Steve was nervous. He took the fake money and left immediately. While Stacy tried to stop Melinda from watching the recordings, but Melinda wants to know the truth. Stacy felt uncomfortable staying there. Melinda watched the whole recording and heard everything that Stacy said to Steve. They saw the fake money was the one she gave to him. They now know that this is a plan of Stacy to blame Olivia. She admits that Olivia is the reason why she did that. Melinda couldn't believe how Stacy treated her coworkers. Melinda asks other employees if they know why Stacy is like that. They tell Melinda that Stacy is jealous of Olivia and thought that Olivia would take her position. They are afraid that Stacy would fire them if they tell her. She couldn't believe what kind of person she hired to be a manager, and not knowing that Stacy brings a negative impact to her business. Melinda promised Olivia and other employees that this will not happen anymore in the future because she will fire Stacy now. Melinda was so upset with Stacy. Stacy starts to apologize to Melinda. This is against her will. She doesn't like to apologize to someone, but she needs this job. Melinda felt Stacy is not sincere. She tells her to apologize to Olivia instead. Stacy takes a deep breath while facing Olivia asking for forgiveness. Olivia just accepts Stacy's apology, but told her that she was hoping for the second time that Stacy won't do this again on other employees. Melinda also tells Stacy that aside from being fired, she will also tell other businesses about Stacy's behavior. In this case, Stacy will surely have a hard time finding another work. Then one day, she decided to return to her old employer. The people there laughs at her. She begs to get her job position before, but they scold her and chased her. They also tell her that they don't need an employee that is toxic, mean, and likes to blame other people. Moral lesson: when you treat others badly, you'll pay for the consequences of your actions, not now, but sooner or later.